If anybody ever asked me, hey, yo man, can you help me put a double din kit in a C5 Corvette, or if I ever had another one of these and wanted to do it, my response would be my personal favorite: man falling off a cliff. No! And we are back with day 2 of this particular build. Brain has been rested and started thinking more logically. So very first thing I did whenever I walked out here is I brought a TV that I had, a small portable TV. I powered up the backup camera and ran it directly into it. 100% confirmed, backup camera is shot. They sent me a bad one. It sucks, but it has power, it has ground, confirmed power and ground. LED lights up, 0 signal. I've tested the cables, I tested everything. The backup camera is just shot. So that's got to be sent back and another one done. Another thing I've tested is there's not a chance that the subwoofer box is going to fit where I want it to fit. So I'll be ordering a Corvette box. But the good news is I do still have options of getting the center stack back together and everything else, because all the wiring has been run and we're ready to go. So very first thing on the agenda today is getting this guy back in, climate control back in. So I'm going to do a little bit of measuring here and a little bit of drilling. It should be pretty dang close right there. And yeah, we'll get some stuff drilled in and we'll get the climate control back in. So as the climate control's in, I can vacuum up all the aluminum shards and we will put the center console back in and get the car pretty much drivable. Did a little bit of stuff, got some of the panels back on back there, but that was just, you know, basic stuff. Then I got to figure out where to mount the amp, and most importantly today I've got to figure out where to put a ground. Now, this is a problem I've had before with the C4 Corvette. It's really dang hard to find a ground in a plastic car. So basically the only thing that's grounded on these things are frames. So essentially I've got grounds in here, I've got grounds to the seat frame, and I've got grounds on the perimeter outside rails. And consider I don't really want to poke any more holes in this car than I have to, I'm probably going to run to the seat ground, which is exactly what I did on the C4. Take a little longer ground cable depending on where I want to run it, but that's what we're doing. But priority 1 right now is getting the center stack back together. Okie dokie. So yeah, did a little bit of looking under there, and basically where I had it seems to be correct. So we're gonna drill the pilot holes for the locating tabs, and everything should go together. And basically right below this guy. Looks like the left is okay, but the right side needs to come up a hair. I was afraid of that. The problem with this C5 Vet is everything is kind of cocked toward the driver, which gives it a cool effect, but also makes it annoying. I can't say I'm a huge fan of how this Mitra kit is fitting. Okay, much tinkering has gone down. I've gone to Walmart, I got the radio adapter that I needed. I've put the center console back together. There we go. The Mitra double din kit installed. Climate control relocated, stereo in there, mostly straight enough for me. There's a little bit of a gap here at the top, but it was like that even with the original one. So the C5 interior was always kind of anyway. All this is back together. This is here. I went in, and you can't see it. So let me get you a light. But I heated up a razor blade and hand carve through a spot for the USB hookup for my phone. So USB-C will hook up there, Android Auto should all work. I'll be moving on to the back here shortly with a ground cable to the amp. I'll probably just have the stuff kind of just jammed in place back there until I get the proper stuff. This job was horrible. Okay, I like installing stereos, but there was so much custom work to be done. There was so much stuff that was not explained well. This was about as much fun as, you know, having a pine cone shoved up the back door. If anybody ever asked me, hey, yo man, can you help me put a double dent kit in a C5 Corvette, or if I ever had another one of these and wanted to do it, my response would be my personal favorite: man falling off a cliff. No! It sucked that bad. Alright, so I'm calling it for the night yet again. Basically, I'm down to one thing, and it's the ground wire. The ground wire I'm going to hook up to the hatch strut right here, but I am currently fighting this because somebody with just an absolute genius came in and put one of the hardest things in the world to remove down in there. There's no slit, nothing. You got to get one of these little spring clips off from there. I've been fighting it for an hour straight, and anyway, that's got to pop off from there. Again, I'm so pissed off right now I can't see straight. This has been a nightmare start to finish, but and this is what breeds the raving reviewer right here. It is just stupid stuff like this. 1 hour for a clip. Okay, and I'm back, and it's been about 2 days since my last little level there. Where we left off, I was raging at that panel right there, trying to get to a ground, and that whole day was not good for me. Everything was going wrong. It was a Murphy's Law day. All that crap. So I had wound up just shutting the camera off because I was approaching, you know, demonetization levels of rage. So I wound up getting the panel off over there where it was, and this car's weird because you've got frame rails that run along here, but they didn't give a ground. Where this thing hooks up, the gas strut hooks up, there was a ground. I hooked up to it, I got the panel off finally, I hooked up to that ground, and it was only giving me 8 volts off from that ground. Do not ask me why. I have never seen that before in my life. So I had to move up to the actual seat belt bolt in order to find a quality ground that gave me 12 volts. So yeah, that sucked, but I got the subwoofer in, all that started hammering pretty good, and currently speaking, I'm going to be taking the door panels off and finishing out the front section of this. I didn't wind up getting other speakers. Whenever the subwoofer came in, it really kicked in and took over the mid bass and everything, and the Rockford Fosgates sound pretty good on the highs. So I'm not going to worry about getting a whole new speaker system when it sounds pretty dang good. But I do need to get the Bose crap out of the door because those tweeters are terrible in there, and these will be much better. So yeah, we're going to be getting the door panel open and replacing those out, and hopefully it goes a heck of a lot easier than the back of this car did. Okay, so very first thing we're doing here is taking off this ring right here, and I hear it's a bit of a pain. So I don't really have trim tools, but I do have a flat blade screwdriver and a lot of patience. There we go. And yeah, just a pain. I'll mess with that in a minute. Pop off the lower section. Tell me that's a Torx. It's a Torx. Okay, I found the rather large Torx driver I needed for these guys. Okay, looks like just give the door a little pull and see what happens. Sounds like you're ripping it apart, but okay. And we can finally see the pancake woofer setup that I talked about Get some light on there. It's a totally inverted design, so the magnet is here, but the cone is also here. Just a weird setup. And then of course the little 3.5 inch woofer that does nothing, no tweeter setup, not really much of anything, along with the interior of the Corvette door. But basically what we're going to be doing is taking off these right here, and these guys are going to bolt into place right where it is, and we'll have our new speaker set up. Ta-da! So yeah, Bose crap is removed and the Rockford faucets are in. Everything is tied up here, and door panel can go back on, and we will rinse and repeat on the other side, get everything back together, and we are pretty much done with the exception of properly mounting the subwoofer in the rear. So yeah, that's the job. It was a heck of a lot easier once I calmed down and let it go for a couple of days, and it's always the best thing you can do. So as always, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you enjoy these videos and you want to see more.